Hello and welcome back to the Gaming Tech channel, everybody. We're live on YouTube and Twitch, and here we are with Forza Horizon 5 series. Let's have some fun. We're in a bone stock S2000, Honda S2000. And let's see what we're gonna do today. We'll do some races maybe, roam around, tune some cars, and just have fun. The VTech just kicked in, yo. We don't have enough power to do a power slide. Maybe in first gear we can do one. Barely. So in our last Forza session, we won a Honda NSX. And that was actually my third Honda NSX. So let's see if we're gonna modify that or maybe some other cars. So here we have the 2005 NSX with some bolt-ons. And this one right here has a V8 in it, all-wheel drive. And where is the one that has no mods? Alright, this is the one with no mods. Another 2005 model, and this is bone stock. So let's switch to this car, see how it does stock. We already have modified NSX with the stock engine, and we have one with all-wheel drive and a V8, so we got all three areas covered. I'm probably gonna leave this one stock. Let's just see how it does though. I like the Honda gauges, you know, those analog gauges look so cool. Nowadays every car has digital gauges, they all look the same almost. Dude, this is not bad, this is actually pretty quick. Not the fastest, but pretty damn quick for what it is. And the handling is good. After all, it's an NSX. Oh, it's 6-speed. Wow. I thought it was 5-speed. Maybe that's the older model that's 5-speed. I could be wrong. But this one is 6-speed. Damn. It's got a fairly long 6th gear. Let's go for a top speed run. Actually, we got a championship up ahead. Let's see what that's about. We can always do the top speed run later. Alright, what's the reward? A 2015 Camaro? Nice. Let's do this. Nice. We got a 3 event championship here and a nice selection of cars we can choose from. Luckily, we don't have to buy a car just to start this championship. Alright, let's see which car has the best handling. These two, handling-wise, they're pretty similar, as you can see, 5.6. Of course, on the road, it might be different, but on paper, it seems pretty similar. But the RTR does have less horsepower, so it's going to be easy to maintain, easy to keep it on the road, where this one, we have more horsepower. And this has less handling compared to the Mustang, a worse handling. And this is the worst of all four, only 4.7. That's because this car does have a live axle on the back. It's not independent rear suspension, unlike the new Mustangs. So that's why handling kind of suffers there, but this one is the fastest. I do have 2 or 3 of these cars actually, the same model, but this one is bone stock. So I'm thinking we should go with the RTR, just because it's got a wide body kit, it probably has wider wheels, should handle better, should be easy to keep it on the road. The Falcon GT is not a bad car, but it's lacking some horsepower. Actually, it does have more horsepower than the RTR Mustang, even in its stock form. Same amount of torque, but it's a little heavier. And handling is only 5.0, where this is 5.6. Alright, we're gonna go with the RTR. And if RTR doesn't have enough power for this race, in the next race we can always go with the standard GT, which has a little more horsepower. Not a little more, it has like 200 extra more horsepower. 200, 250. But look at that. This is nice. I believe they just released the new RTR for the 2026 model Mustang. Alright, let's see how it goes. This might be a bone stock RTR. Guessing based on the power it has. There's so much grip, dude. Oh, look at this Dodge Challenger. Just all over the place. Probably a Hellcat. With those skinny tires on the back. 245 millimeters. Or 275. Either way, it's not enough. Wait, is that a Dodge Magnum? That's a Magnum, dude. Where did that Dodge Magnum go? A little bit of understeer. Can we catch up to the Dodge Magnum and pass it? Let's see. I like the 10 speed. It's a good transmission. You're always in the right power band. Come on, come on, come on. Maybe we don't have enough power here. Oh, dude, so close. All right, we're going to be second. That's okay. I can't believe Dodge Magnum finished first. That's a pretty cool wagon, you know. Look at that. Nice. The Dodge SRT Demon finished last. That's kind of funny. Of course, it's not meant for handling, so that's to be expected, right? Not bad. Alright, this car did pretty good. I wish it had a little more horsepower. We can always modify it, but instead of modifying this car, I'm thinking we're gonna choose a regular GT, which is already modified. Yep, we're gonna go with the regular GT. These are both 2018 cars, but the GT is modified. We don't have drilled and slotted brakes, unlike the RTR. I don't remember if this GT is 10 speed or 6 speed. Let's take a look here. It's been a while since I modified this car. We do have a digital dash. Alright, I already know what's up. So the only reason the guy's lifting off his hand from the steering wheel to shift is because from factory this car was 6 speed. But I put a 10 speed in here. And even the gear ratios, oh my god. I modified the gear ratios so they're matching what is released from factory from Ford. So I made it as close to stock 10 speed from Ford. So although this car is 6 speed from factory, ours is modified. Just like how it would be with a 10 speed from factory. So that's what the gearing looks like. Alright, we need to do a little better because we have so much more power and not enough grip like the RTR. So we're gonna restart. Dude, we got a new Mustang here. Look at that. The S650. No way. You just pulled a Mustang move right there. I'm being super light on the throttle because I don't want to break traction. Oh no, the grip is so bad. There's nothing like the RTR. The RTR did not have a digital dash where this one does. Come on. Let's oh, dude, brakes are really bad. Dude, the brakes are so bad. Oh, no, no, no. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. We're going to have to either restart the event and just drive slow or switch back to the RTR. I'm going to give it one more restart. As you can see, there's too much power for this stock platform. I don't think we have much done to this car other than adding more power and the 10 speed. And this car is already at the max level of A class, 800. So I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to take it real easy. Even less throttle. Especially in the corners, I'm gonna slow down like ahead of time. Oh, S650, bro. Yeah, the cornering grip is really bad. So even though on paper this and the RTR was pretty similar, on rear wheel test is nothing, like it's not even close. Not even the same car. Yeah, we got more power, but that's about it. I really want the new S650, man. Seems like a cool car. I heard the sales on that car was pretty bad. I think it's a little overpriced. Maybe that's why. It's too much money for a Mustang GT, you know. There was a time when Mustang GTs were affordable, but now they're kind of expensive. Look at that. This car easily power slides. Dude, I'm being so light on the throttle and it's still sliding so easily. Kidding me? You kidding me, bro? No, come on, Mustang. I should have just stuck with the RTR. So more power is always not helpful. You need grip as well. Maybe on the straightaway I can take these guys. I'm waiting for a straightaway like this right here. Coming in hot. And we made that checkpoint. Oh no. We're not finishing fourth. Hell no. Nope, not at all. Alright. Here's the plan. Since RTR had some room in its class, we're gonna go to our garage, switch to the RTR, and add some more power to it, because it can definitely take it, and we have some extra room. Here it is. These are stock numbers: 460 horse, 420 torque, and we're at 757. So let's add a little bit more power. Not too much. Not too much. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. We're not gonna max it out or anything. We're gonna keep it in its class. I just really like how this car looks. Alright, so as we know, it's bone stock. But let's start from the exhaust. For some reason, this does not sound like a Ford Coyote. I'm gonna leave the stock exhaust. Nah, it almost sounded like an LS. Alright, we're gonna go with intake. Some extra induction growl from the front. Perfect. And we could supercharge it. Turbos add a little too much power, plus the power band's not going to be like linear. When the boost comes on, we're going to blow the tires off. So, how about a root supercharger? Extra 88 horsepower. That's good. And now, better brakes, dude. So we can brake early. Stock brakes actually look pretty cool, the stock rotors. But we're gonna max these out. And what else are we gonna do here? A little bit more grip. That would be... Oh, we can't do that, unfortunately. It's too much. That's a little too much. So this car has 305s from factory. That's freaking wide, bro. We can go with 355s. These are really wide. So we're still on the stock compound. But, you know, 355s ain't no joke. That's freaking wide, bro. Alright, we're gonna go with wide tires, front and back. 335s on the front? Wow. I don't know any other car where we can fit 335s on the front. That's freaking wide. And so we're doing race intake, supercharger, but we didn't upgrade the supercharger, so it's stock. Race brakes, wider tires, and we'll be at 798, so at the top of his class almost. More grip, more horsepower, you know, not bad at all. Like extra 100 horsepower right there. And more grip. Should be more balanced than the GT that we had, because GT had very skinny tires and it had a little too much power for his class. That GT should be an S1 class with better tires and more power, but that's okay. We'll work on that later. I think this is a good combination now. We added a little bit more power, a little more grip to the RTR. It already had a bunch of grip from factory. We should win this championship with ease. Let's go back to it. And this car has a 10-speed from factory. We didn't add it later. We don't have a digital dash, but that's fine. I like the analog gauges. I don't know any other car that's rear-wheel drive, front engine, and has this much grip. Brakes better, accelerates better, has more grip. That's a perfect combo right there. Alright, I'm gonna do a little launch here. It should hook pretty good. Wow. Even though we made it faster, it almost feels the same because we added wider tires. And that's extra rotational mass, right? But overall, it should perform better. Perfect. Yeah, more torque, more horsepower, same weight, more grip. Let's do this. As you can see, GT has quite a bit more power and torque, and it has a skinny body with skinny tires, so putting that power down is not going to be easy. So we're going to go with the RTR. We should win this easily. Oh, dude, it brakes so well. I can't believe we're on stock compound. It almost feels like we're on race compound. That was a really controlled power slide. Even when you go on like little bumps, or when the road like, you know, goes up and down. Not a bump, but like, you know, just a road that has like a little incline and then a decline. The suspension does not get unsettled. It's just so stable. And we got it. Hey bro, thanks for joining. Honestly, this is a pretty good combination. The i7 12700KF with the 5070 Ti. Especially when you got DDR5 and PCIe Gen 5. It's just a great combo. Even in Warzone, when I'm playing at 1440, you can check out my streams. I'm still getting over 200 FPS. I actually do have a benchmark video in the description of my stream. You can check that out if you want to. This combo does pretty good for what it is. Yeah, this is a pretty stable CPU. Like, I'm running a dual tower cooler on it, and it stays cool. It doesn't power limit, doesn't thermal throttle. And it's actually in an ITX case. That's the craziest part. Alright, bro. Sounds good. Alright. Let's finish the championship. Just one more event to go. I mean, this one right here, the last one. No, one more after this. Let's get it done. I love how the rear end of the S650 looks like. It's a really nice rear end. Get out of my way! Even on wet roads, the grip is crazy. This S550 is not bad either. This was the first year when they released the independent suspension on the rear. Before that, they had the live axle. So the handling on this S550 is really nice compared to the previous model years. And we did it. Real nice. Look at that. This is my second Z28. I already have one, so it's always nice to get the same car again. So you can have this same car in two different classes if you want to. An A class and S1, or S1 and S2, however you want to do it. Where is it? Yeah, so this is my previous one. Modified within the S1 class. At the top of S1 class. Naturally aspirated. Maxed out. It's got a big block, 7.4 liters. This one is bone stock. I'll just keep this one in A class. Probably not going to modify this one since I already have one modified. There's a big power difference. Let's see if there's a difference in grip. Yeah, a little bit more grip here. And I believe I have weight reduction as well, so not bad. Not bad at all. Even for the Stingray, I have two of these. Got a bunch of repeating cars, honestly. All thanks to the championships. I keep winning them. Or I keep winning them in, like, wheel spins. Which is also nice. Is there a different championship here that we can complete? Oh, there is one! Yes! And the reward is a 911 GT2 RS. That's a pretty nice car. And we have this over here as well. So we'll do these two. Maybe we'll do this one first. Let's drive down there. We'll drive down there in a different car. How about the 2009 01? It's almost 1,000 horsepower. This is a fast car. The power to weight ratio is really good. So normally this car is only a 6-speed manual, but I have a 10-speed auto in here. Those downshifts are crisp. We're spinning. We're definitely spinning the tires. You can feel it. Alright, this one is actually drift zone, so it's not really yeah, this is a drift zone, yep. Not a real event. That's alright. We can do that later. Let's move on to the real championship first. So we're gonna have to use a track toy for this championship. I'm pretty sure we got a couple of those. Maybe more than a couple. Let's see. Oh no, we only have one? Maybe only one in S1 class. That makes sense. But that's okay. As long as we got one to do the championship with, that's perfect. We don't have to buy a car. This is a handful to drive, man. I'll tell you that right now. It's not easy. We'll finish third. There's no point in restarting. We'll just do better in the next two races. That's the goal here. Let's see what we win. 175k? That's really nice. Super nice. Alright, where are the next two events? Hopefully they're close by. Or are they not? Where are they at? They're hiding from me. Oh, there it is. I just didn't see it. Let's do this. You have to finish first. Or second at least. To get a good overall score. That kind of worked out. Everybody's right on my tail, so I have to be careful. This car really shines in circuit racing. In like sprint racing, it's alright. Maybe if we reduce the aero, like the downforce on cornering in a sprint race, it might be better. But in circuit racing, it's really good. Look at that. That was an easy first place. Alright, we got one more event. And we need to get our first place again, because as you can see, we're only at 34 points. Alright, where is the next event? Where is it? I mean, it's on the map, I know that. But where is it? I can't see it. Why is it hiding from me? Oh, it's right there. I see it now. Oh, the restriction is a track toy UK. Maybe that's why I couldn't see my other track toys. That makes sense. It wasn't a class issue, it was the country issue. The region. It's 5 miles away. Might as well change the car until we get there. The 2018 M5 is a nice car. The new M5 looks kind of bulky. I know it has more power and all that, but I prefer this one. Let's take a little shortcut here. Alright, let's get it done. These NPCs be wildin', bro. Look at this guy in the Lotus. Get out of my way, bro. Easy. Easy peasy. Another championship done. And we got our 911 GT2 RS. Another super nice car. I don't know if I already have one, or maybe it's my second one, I'm not too sure. Maybe it's my first one, or maybe my second one, I don't know. We can find out though. Oh, it's my first one! No way! Well, that's real nice. Rear engine, rear wheel drive. And good power to weight ratio, only 3,000 pounds. This is light. Super, super light. I mean, this right here has weight reduction on it, I believe. But this from factory is pretty freaking light. This is my first GT2 car. Do we have any other GT2s? I don't think so. I got a GT3 from 2004, but not a GT2. This is my first GT2. Not bad at all. Alright, we started the stream with our bone stock 2005 NSX, and we were going to do a top speed run on it. So let's do that. And we'll come back to the GT2 after. Maybe in the next stream, maybe today. Alright, we're gonna take our NSX on the highway. See how it does. We can see the Honda engine peeking out through that rear window. Let's see how far our 280 horsepower gets us. Or I should say how fast. Still pulling in 5th gear. Let's see if we can keep this up in 6th. Wow, 160 almost? That's pretty good for 280 horsepower, man. Right before a red line, we shifted. And even after shifting into 6th gear, we're still at 7,000 RPM. I thought the 6th gear would be longer, but it's actually geared pretty good. Almost 170 miles. So we're almost about to hit 280 kilometers on the dash, which should be like, I don't know, 172, 175. Look at that. Our 280 horsepower stock NSX can do 280 kilometers per hour. That's really good. Nice, man. Honda knew what they were doing back in the days. They were making some exciting cars back in the days, but nowadays they're a little boring. Not too boring, little boring compared to their peak era, you know. Oh no. We just crashed into the Raptor. Alright. That's the best it could do in its stock form. I do have a different one. The one that has bolt-ons. But that is a 92, I believe. From 1992. Yep. Oh, no, not this one. This one has a V8. The other one. What is the other one? Right here. Oh, no, this is also 2005. Okay, I only have one from 92 and 2 from 2005. So this one is modified, as you can see. And let's see how this one does compared to the stock one that we just tested. You can tell that it sounds so much different. Don't tell me I put a 10-speed in here. I'm pretty sure I did. I am pretty sure I put a 10-speed in here. I'll be able to tell now. Yep, we're already in 7th gear. There's definitely a 10-speed in here. There we go. Again, this one is all bolt-ons. I don't think I have any supercharger or turbo in it. I'm not 100% sure, but from the sound, I don't hear anything. I don't hear any force induction, so it might just be naturally aspirated. Might just be full bolt-ons, full maxed out on the stock engine with a 10-speed. The 10-speed really wakes it up, you know. It stays in its VTEC power band. And of course we got cams in it, that's why we're able to rev higher. The stock one was only revving up to like 8.5, which is already pretty high. And this one goes all the way to like 9200 RPM. 90, yeah, that's 92. 91, 9200 RPM. That's pretty high revving for an old V6, you know. 20 years old. I can't believe this car is 20 years old, man. Still looks so amazing. The rear taillight looks really good. And the front looks good. And the side looks good. Everything's good about this car. Another nice U-turn. What a nice sounding V6, dude. This just shows you V6s can sound nice. Not all V6s sound bad. It's got that real race car note. Alright, since we are testing all the NSXs that I have, why don't we switch to the older one where I have the V8 and all-wheel drive. Let's give that a go. Of course, Honda guys are not gonna like this, but I do have two regular ones. This does not sound like a Honda, as you can see. So the older model also looks good, but the new one just looks a little bit better, you know. Tiny bit better. I have really long gears in this for some reason. Maybe I did this for a certain event that I was doing. We're doing 180 miles in third gear. Not very realistic, but it is what it is. Yeah, there's something about this car where you can just tell it's older. Doesn't look like the new one, but looks older at the same time. The 2005 model looks pretty, like, pretty good for its age. This one you can tell is from the 90s. Alright, everybody. This is it for today. We're gonna be starting the next stream with the GT2 RS that we won today in one of the championships. And we'll also give the Z28 a go, the stock Z28 that we won. So stay tuned for that if you're not subscribed. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps me out. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.